Hi children, welcome to my YouTube channel. To watch my educational videos, please subscribe my channel and please click on the bell icon. When we consider types of straight line, we can identify four types. The first type is the straight line with positive gradient and negative intercept. And the second type is the positive intercept but negative gradient. Third type is negative gradient with positive intercept, and fourth case, the last case, is negative gradient with negative intercept. If you have such situations, the behavior of a straight line would be as shown in the diagrams. For example, if you get an equation of a straight line y equals to 2x plus 1. Here the gradient is 2 and intercept is 1. Both values are positive. Therefore, you will obtain a straight line as shown in the first diagram. If you get a straight line y equals to 2x minus 1, you can understand that the gradient is plus 2 and intercept is minus 1. Therefore, you will obtain a straight line as shown in the second diagram. We will consider another straight line y equals to minus 2x plus 1. There you can understand that gradient is minus 2, it's a negative value, and plus 1 is a positive value. Therefore, you will obtain a straight line as shown in the third diagram. If you consider another straight line y equals to minus 2x minus 1, there the gradient is minus 2 and intercept is minus 1. There you can understand that it will be a graph as shown in the diagram 4. Hopefully you can understand how to identify or how to verify a straight line from its equation. If we consider the format of a equation of a straight line, you can see there are many formats, but the most popular format available is y equals to mx plus c, where m is the gradient of a straight line and c is the intercept with y-axis. For example, if you get a straight line y equals to 2x plus 5, the gradient would be plus 2 and intercept with y-axis would be plus 5. If we consider the second example, y equals to minus 5x plus 6, there you can see the gradient is minus 5 and intercept with y-axis would be plus 6. Hopefully you can understand the basic format of a equation of a straight line. What is the gradient of a straight line? In an equation y equals to mx plus c, m is the notation for gradient of a straight line. The simplest definition of the gradient of the straight line is, you know that if you draw a straight line, it generates an angle with x-axis. You can see there are two angles it can generate. First one with positive x-axis and second one with negative x-axis. From this diagram, I think you can understand what is the angle performed with positive x-axis, that is the angle x. Then if you measure the tan x, the tan value of that angle x, that would be the gradient of the straight line. So simply we can say gradient m is equals to tan x. Now let's try to understand how to find the gradient of a straight line. Simply from the definition we know that gradient is tan x. We know that from our previous theories. What is the definition for the tan x is equals to opposite divided by adjacent. From this diagram you can see how do we get the opposite for angle perform with the positive x-axis. You can see that angle you can perform by height or difference between y coordinates. Then if you get the adjacent is a vertical length, that is the length along x-axis. You can calculate that figure from difference between x coordinates. Therefore, you can write tan x is equals to difference between y coordinates divided by difference between x coordinate, or simply you can find the gradient m of a tan x by using the formula m equals to y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. So you can get two coordinates on the straight line and you can apply into the formula m equals to y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. It's not a problem whether which coordinate is x1 y1 and which coordinate is x2 y2. You will obtain the same answer. Let's try to understand the theory from this example. We need to find the equation of the straight line which passes through the two coordinates a 1 3 and b 4 6. Then to apply into the formula m equals to y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2, we have to identify what is x1 y1 and what is x2 y2. So it doesn't matter which way you consider, whether you can consider a as x1 y1 and b as x2 y2, or you can consider b as x1 y1 and a as x2 y2. Doesn't matter which is the way you have to select. Whatever the way you get the same answer. From this question I have considered x1 y1 as 4 6 and x2 y2 as 1 3. With that, y1 minus y2 would be 6 minus 3, that is y coordinate of b minus y coordinate of a. Then x1 minus x2, that means 4 minus 1. So x coordinate of b minus x coordinate of a. So if you consider 1b as x1 y1, a should be considered as x2 y2. Therefore, you obtain the answer gradient equals to 1. So from our first theories, you can understand that if you get a positive gradient, the shape of the straight line would be as shown in this diagram. With this information, for the moment we cannot identify what is the intercept. I just randomly drawn the diagram. Only the shape with the gradient only have to consider with this question. Later on we will consider how to find the intercept as well. This is the second example. If you want to find the gradient of the straight line which passes through the two coordinates a 1, 6 and b 4, 3. For this question I have used x1 y1 as 4 3 and x2 y2 as 1 6. Therefore y1 minus y2 would be 3 minus 6, y coordinate of b minus y coordinate of a, divide by x1 minus x2, that is 4 minus 1. With that you will obtain the answer m equals to minus 1. It doesn't matter, you work out considering a as x1 y1 and b as x2 y2, you will obtain the same answer again. If you work out, you will obtain the gradient as minus 1. Then you can understand that if you get a negative gradient, you will get a line slope as shown in the diagram. Later on we will work out how to find the value for C in such question. We know that the equation of a straight line is in form of y equals to mx plus c. In this slide, our objective is to find the equation of a straight line in form of y equals to mx plus c. The first situation is to find the equation of a straight line when one coordinate and the gradient of the straight line is given. For example, find the equation of a straight line with gradient 6 which passes through the point 2 8. Now you know the gradient and one coordinate where the straight line passes through. Basically, we will take the equation of the straight line is y equals to mx plus c. Now, from this question, they specifically mention the gradient is 6. Therefore, I can write the equation of the straight line is y equals to 6x plus c. But still we have a doubt. how to find the value for c. For the moment we already found the gradient, m is already given. Therefore we can replace 6 instead of m and you can write the equation in form of y equals to 6x plus c. How to find this value of c? We know that the line passes through the point 2, 8. That means when x coordinate is 2, y coordinate is 8. Therefore, I will substitute x equals to 2 and y equals to 8 in equation y equals to 6x plus c, because for the moment we know the gradient is 6. Therefore, we already format the equation in form of y equals to 6x plus c. Then if you replace x equals to 2 and y equals to 8, you will obtain the answer c equals to minus 4. Therefore, very easily we can write the equation of a straight line as y equals to 6x minus 4. So hopefully you understood how to do this kind of a question. Let's try to work out another example to verify the theory what we have learned above. The next question is find the equation of the straight line with gradient minus 3 which passes through 2 minus 8. Now we know the gradient is minus 3 and the line passes through 2 minus 8. Then from the equation y equals to mx plus c, we know m is minus 3 for the moment. They are because they have given the gradient is minus 3. Then I can write the equation as y equals to minus 3x plus c. Now our objective is to find the value for c. We know that the line passes to the coordinate 2 minus 8. Therefore, when x equals to 2, y coordinate become minus 8 in y equals to minus 3x plus c. Then I will replace minus 8 instead of y and 2 instead of x. If you replace with this, you will obtain the answer c equals to minus 2. Now you know the value for c as minus 2. Therefore, you can write the equation of the straight line is y equals to minus 3x minus 2. Hopefully, you can understand how to get this answer. The second type of the question is, in previous type, they have given the gradient of the straight line with one coordinate. In the second case, they have given us two coordinates and we need to find the equation of a straight line. To find the equation of a straight line in such situation, we can use two methods. I will teach you both methods. You can use any method you feel like easy to do. The first method is the ordinary method. Initially, to find the equation of a straight line, we should know the gradient. What is the equation of the gradient? Equation of the gradient is m equals to y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. Therefore, select the first given coordinate as x1 y1 and second coordinate as x2 y2. With that, you can find the gradient of the straight line. Then after that, use one of the coordinate given with the calculated gradient and you can use the method what you have used in previous question. You will get a clear idea from the example workout after this slide. Okay children, this question they ask us to find the equation of the straight line which passes through the points 2, 4 and 5, 13. Then mark a straight line and mark those two coordinates. That would be easier for you to understand this question. Initially, let's try to find the gradient of the straight line. Then I will consider x1, y1 as 5, 13 and x2, y2 as 2, 4. It doesn't matter what is the way you select it. So I will get the gradient using m equals to y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. That is 13 minus 4, y1 minus y2 divided by 5 minus 2, x1 minus x2. If you simplify, you will obtain the answer as 3. Now we know the gradient is 3. Therefore, I can write the equation of the straight line is y equals to mx plus c, where m is 3 for the moment. Therefore, we can write y equals to 3x plus c. Now our objective is to find the value for c. Then we know that the line passes to the coordinates 2, 4 and 5, 13. You can select any of the coordinate as the coordinate value considered. So now it doesn't matter what is the coordinate you use. I prefer to use the coordinate 2, 4. Therefore the simplification is quite simple. But doesn't matter, you can use 5, 13 as well. Then I will use the gradient is 3 as well as the coordinate as 2, 4. Then we know that according to the problem what we have worked out in the previous slides, the line passes through the coordinate 2, 4. That means when x coordinate is 2, y coordinates become 4. Then I will replace 2 and 4 instead of x and y in the equation y equals to 3x plus c. Then if you replace with it, you can obtain the answer c equals to minus 2. Then we can write the final answer as y equals to 3x minus 2. Hopefully you can understand how to do this kind of a question. Let's try to verify the theory from this question. In the question, they expect us to find the equation of the straight line which passes through the points 0, 10 and 6 minus 2. Initially, mark these two coordinates on one straight line and label one coordinate as x1, y1 and other coordinate as x2, y2. Then, according to this diagram, I have considered 6 minus 2 as x1, y1 and 0, 10 as x2, y2. With that, you can use the formula y equals to y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. With that, you will obtain the answer for gradient. So, according to this calculation, y1 minus y2 is minus 2 minus 10 divided by x1 minus x2 is 6 minus 0. You will obtain the answer minus 2. Then, we know that in an equation of a straight line y equals to mx plus c, now m become minus 2. Therefore, I can write y equals to minus 2x plus c. Then, we will use one coordinate, either 0, 10 or 6 minus 2. Then, we can substitute that coordinate into the equation y equals to minus 2x plus c. I have chosen the coordinate 0, 10. The coordinate 0, 10 indicates you that when x equals to 0, y value become plus 10. Therefore, I will substitute 0 instead of x and 10 instead of y in the equation y equals to minus 2x plus c. If you substitute, you will obtain the answer for c as 10. Then, if you substitute this m value and c value in the equation, you will obtain the final answer as y equals to minus 2x plus 10. Hopefully, you can understand how I did this question. This is the second method to obtain the answer for equation of a straight line when two coordinates are given. From my previous experience, I know most of the students are not much preferred to do this method. To obtain the answer from this method, mark the two given coordinates x1, y1 and x2, y2 on a straight line. Then mark an optional coordinate that is called a general coordinate p as xy. Then we use the technique called the gradient of AB is equal to gradient of AP, since all the three points remain on the same straight line. So you can see all 3 points on the same straight line. Therefore, the gradient between two consecutive points must be same. That means gradient of AB must be similar to the gradient of AP as well. How to find the gradient of AB? I will use the formula y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. Therefore, if you substitute the coordinates AB, you will obtain the answer as y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. Then the gradient of AP. AP is y minus y1, that is the difference of x coordinate, divided by x minus x1. With that, you will obtain the answer obtained for gradient AP as y minus y1 divided by x minus x1. Then, from the previous theory, since the 3 points remain on the same straight line, you can write gradient of AP is equals to gradient of AB. With that, you can obtain the equation y minus y1 divided by x minus x1 equals to y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. So this is the general equation to obtain the equation of the straight line using method 2. In this equation, x and y are the general coordinates. You just put x and y only. x1, y1 would be the coordinate of one point. x2, y2 would be the coordinate of the second point. That is the technique we use to obtain the answer to find the equation of a straight line which passes through two given coordinates. Let's try to verify the learned theory from this example. We need to find the equation of the straight line which passes through the points 2, 4 and 5, 13. First, draw a straight line and mark the two given coordinates 2, 4 and 5, 13. Then mark the general coordinate xy. This is always xy because we need to form an equation of a straight line in form of y equals to mx plus c. Then equate the gradient between 2, 4 and 5, 13 to 2, 4 with xy. Or you can use any other 2 points as well, doesn't matter, but generally we'll try to do it in that way. The gradient between the 2 points 2, 4 and 5, 13. How do you obtain it? You can write 13 minus 4 divided by 5 minus 2. But the principle we have used is gradient equals to y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. Then you will obtain the answer 13 minus 4 divided by 5 minus 2 as 3. Later on we can simplify, right? Then I will obtain the gradient between the two coordinates xy and 2, 4. How do you get it? Y minus 4 divided by x minus 2. Then we know that all these 3 points remain on the same straight line. Therefore, I can equate these two, the gradient between these 2 points. There I will obtain the answer y minus 4 divided by x minus 2 is equals to 13 minus 4 divided by 5 minus 2. Then you will obtain the answer y minus 4 divided by x minus 2 is 3. Then cross multiply. If you cross multiply, you'll be getting y minus 4 equals to 3 times of x minus 2. Then if you simplify, remove the brackets, y minus 4 equals to 3x minus 6. Then take all the terms to one side. With that you will obtain the answer y equals to 3x minus 2. Hopefully you can understand how to use the second method to get this answer. But remember, if you feel like this method is difficult for you, use the previous method we have used to find the equation of a straight line, where the cases where you have given the two coordinates where the straight line passes through. Hope you have understood the concepts mentioned in this the video. If you have any doubt, please put in the comment box. I will reply to you. With the meantime, if you like this video, please put a thumbs up.